Hey, this is Mass with a brand new One Punch Man, the strongest video, and yes, I'm alive. Yes, I was not incarcerated. Yes, I did not just decide to call it quits. It's just been an absolutely crazy week. Had a phone call this morning at 8 a.m. with a company in Bangkok. Just all sorts of crazy stuff going on this week. So yes, I'm finally back and hopefully going to do about 6 videos over the next 3 days and get some focus back on. But what do we need to talk about with One Punch Man, the strongest? Well, there's a few things we need to talk about. We've got the Ascension card rate up, but no, we're not going to talk about that because if you're playing this game, you know this is the time to do it. But coupled with that, you should go into your events and see there is the complete Ascension supply target with rewards. It's actually pretty good. So you definitely want to be hitting that if you can, as well as the Ascension supply bonus in the events area. We don't need to talk about Wishing Crystal. I'm surprised that came back. But what we do need to talk about, and at least what's mostly on my radar, is the Awaken Wheel with SSR plus Garou coming out. Why? Well, there's a couple reasons why. One is, like it or not, this was a good move putting Garou in there. Why? Because it does not really affect players that don't want to spend, because he's not a necessity. Fun, yes. Game breaking, hell no. Plus putting him in a wheel, you don't know when you're going to be able to get all the parts to really complete this character. So yeah, King, not so smart. Garou, very smart, because honestly, if I had to choose between Gogetsu and Garou, I'd be all over Gogetsu, not Garou. But if you're not aware, of course, the Awaken Wheel is pretty much pay only. Yeah, so basically during the time it's available, you can use lucky vouchers to spin the wheel for prizes. Basically, there's 2 stages to the wheel. It's not worth it, especially with Garou, and especially if you're a very light spender. Would not be concerned about this one at all. But with saying that, I did want to at least show the character, show what it can do, and hopefully makes everybody breathe a sigh of relief. As fun as it is, yeah, he's not essential in the least. Now, what is this character about? Well, I went ahead and did it, of course. Why? Because I'm a complete idiot at times. Because honestly, I don't see myself using this character much more than maybe a few weeks for some fun, for some videos to demonstrate. But in the end, he is going to end up falling into the second line of characters and not your top 6. But yes, his first basic attack attacks a single target with 4 combo strikes, 120% of attack. Nothing special there. His ultimate attacks a single target with 5 combo strikes for 950% of attack, which is really nice. Critical strike will trigger breakthrough, instantly removes target's damage ignore effect granted by unyielding type effects, which is nice, but again, not as good as Gogetsu. And it's once per attack. Then you've also got his passive, removes stun on himself after any character action. After an ally's action launches, ultimate follow-up by 60% to 1 random enemy with damage and ignoration up to twice per turn, which is also nice, but again, nothing spectacular. Then his Awaken passive, when battle begins, grants 2 unyielding chances by 50% max HP. After consuming unyielding type effects, grants specialized guard, equal to 800% attack, absorbs incoming damage up to 15 times of original max HP, removes bonus HP effects. After any ally character's unyielding specialized unyielding effects run out, Gains specialized guard equal to 600% of Garou's attack up to 3 times in total, which is nice, which will keep him alive. But again, it's going to be kind of difficult, and where are you going to put him? I've been testing him front line. I honestly don't ever see myself putting him in the back line for my own personal preferences and what he can do on the field. But again, fine. I went ahead and stripped my metal bat to go ahead and build him up as far as I could. His attack is respectable at 2.2 million. His HP is very respectable at 8 million. His crit at 75%, that's one thing. You're gonna see everybody say attack, attack, attack on him, and that is true, but you really do need to be able to get the crit. And again, you don't have to go crazy. You don't have to try to 100% crit him. Again, from my testing throughout the time of playing this game, anytime you can get crit at 70% of above, you're in pretty good shape to crit 9 out of 10 times. Usually becomes not an issue with him. Now again, he's not done yet. You know, my character talents are not finished on him. His Awaken Inspiration, because he's not a banner character, is much more difficult to build out, and to me it's not worth spending character shards to get what you need, because it's a 3-to-1 ratio, which is absolute shite. So no, I would not recommend that. You just have to grin and break it. Again, because he's in the Awaken Wheel, much more difficult. Because I know this character is not going to be long-term for me, you know, he's at limit broken 5, which is fine. Now again, you get that increased damage rate at 6, which is really nice. That's probably his sweet spot because you want him to do as much damage as possible. But it is what it is with this character. Gearing this character, of course, you don't have the keepsake option yet, and God knows when that will release, knowing from King previously. So yeah, hopefully sooner than later. He's definitely less effective without the keepsake, but I did do his exclusive badge because I stripped Metal Bat to full to give him some extra HP. So that will help him hopefully survive. I moved over my Metal Bat Machine God to him. So as you can see on it, it's all attack, attack, except for I want to get as much crit as I can to get myself over that 70% threshold. So he's at 75%. So that's good. And his buff gear I just brought over, of course, except for the duelist. So I only had to build one. And again, you're going to be looking for attack bonuses. I haven't perfected any of these, but they're in pretty good shape. Crit, of course, so if you're lucky enough to get another crit on your grappler buff, that'd be perfect for him. I'll probably try for that if I decide to still mess around with him. I did keep the block rates because I want him to stay alive. And of course, you know, special buff gear attack, you're going to want bonus damage. I've right now just got damage reduction on him. I didn't really want to respend a bunch of times and waste the currency on it. But again, he's in pretty good shape for a character, and he has, you know, something to offer. But again, he is not going to be a mainstay by no means for anybody in their team. Maybe if you 5P him, you know, you can see when you 5P him, you remove the stun on himself after any character action, which is nice, but there's not a lot of stunning characters in this game at this point. After an ally's action, launches the ultimate follow-up by 70%, so that's kind of nice that you get that improvement there. But really the keepsake is probably more important. With the keepsake, attacks a single target with 5 combo strikes. It goes up to 1200% attack, which is a lot, and triggers breakthrough, instantly removes target damage ignoration. So it's automatic, so you don't have to worry about that crit like you do before. But the crit is still nice because you want him to do heavy damage because he's a single hitter. The idea with this character is that you are basically going to start to slowly dismantle a team one by one, and that's really difficult until you get the keepsakes. So yeah, that's the problem when you have the wheel, okay? Playing with this character, as you can imagine. And this is all for fun, okay? And this is just some demonstrations. I mean, if you had the keepsake, if you had him 5P'd, you might consider him as a primary DPS and put him on the back line. I just don't see it, especially with the options that are currently available. A lot of people will have their Gogetsu back there. A lot of people, of course, have Atomic Samurai back there right now. And there's other characters that are going to be coming. So yeah, and yeah, grappler slots suck big time. So you can lose a lot by putting this character in. Now again, when the keepsake comes out, and if it becomes an option, the 5 PM, then yeah, we'll come back around. We can demonstrate some more. He definitely becomes much more useful and dynamic, you know. But right now, where he's at, it's difficult. I see him dying on that front line. I see quite a few characters, even a decently built one, just not making it. And that's the problem. And so, yeah. So I'll go ahead and show some more gameplay with him. But again, don't sweat this one if you can't get him. It is not going to make or break you in this game, in this meta. Yeah. Can he be effective in PvP type content in this game? Yes, very much so. But it is not someone anybody needs, nor put the resources in this game. And if you picked up Gogetsu, then pat yourself on the back, because Gogetsu is a better pickup, going to be more helpful to you out of the gate. If you've been using him or watched any of my videos, and I have a video coming with gameplay with him, with his keepsake, in fully 5P to show just how strong he can be. Again, another character that isn't absolutely necessary and you have to get, but you know, if I was picking between the two, it'd definitely be Gogetsu all the way. You're going to get more bang for your buck out of that character and be able to use him more effectively, given that everything was put on the table for you. But with newer characters coming, these two are characters that are definitely not going to be in a lot of teams a couple months from now or less. Love to have the Garou. I think he looks cool. I think the design was done well. Love the way, you know, his hair is even moving, which is great. But yeah, not going to be your go-to DPS in my opinion, which kind of brings me to another point I wanted to bring up, because I do get this question occasionally, because I use this character religiously, and that's the Silverfang SSR Plus. He's got a rerun right now. I don't personally recommend picking him up at this point. If you had him previously, then great. Then you know how good he is. And I actually prefer him because of his kit and the fact that he's AoE, to use him as a primary DPS. But again, another character that is probably not gonna stay on a team after the next few character releases. So for this rerun, unless you are desperate for a pure DPS and you don't have Atomic Samurai, or you just feel like you're missing something, yeah, he's great. But again, on a rerun, you're effectively looking at the time span being even less than when the banner came out. So yeah, I love him. He's actually my second favorite DPS. You can probably guess who my first is. But again, he's kind of a one-trick pony, but a good one at that. So, but yeah, Garou's fun. Just wanted to put some gameplay out there. You know, got the breakthrough there, see? Boom. You know, shield's gone. There we go. Not as effective as Gogetsu, but nice. It helps expedite the process of, you know, hopefully beating your opponent, but it's not going to make or break or change the game. And it kind of goes to my philosophy when I play. I know a lot of people, effects, speed, everything. When I build a team, the first thing I think about is how can I make the base stats stronger? I don't worry about if I have some weapon that has a great effect on it. I don't worry about how that character needs something else to perform. I think about is what happens if this character is going to be by itself on the field? How is it going to hold up? And that's why a lot of times when you see me play other teams, you'll see them have like 168% versus my 129% at the start of the game. And honestly, I don't worry about that, because that doesn't mean they're that much ahead of you. If you extrapolate it out when you're building a character, the key is going to be their ability to stay alive. And I can watch those percentages drop all the time. And I try to build a team that is built to stay alive without anything extra. Because then, once you get to that level where you're comfortable where that team is, and that's why I focus so much on HP and attack over anything else. Because if they can stay alive, then anything else is icing on the cake. So a lot of times when you see, you know, I may be under 100% and they're still at 140, but somehow I win, it's because it's not that significant if you know how your character survivability is and what the chances of them being pushed back is. So to me, that's what I look for. And Garou just is not a winner to me. Even though he has a lot of plus in his kit to keep him alive, he's very dependent on a few things. And so he's a character, like, I don't know I'd be comfortable playing with him in the weekly tournament at all. I probably will just for content, but I very well could lose just by losing that one piece to the team I like. So when I post the video with Gogetsu featuring him at 5P, as well as with his keepsake all done up, that's like right now the team I want to play until we see who the next limited banner is and if it's gonna justify any sort of changes. But yeah, Garou's a good character, but not worth the pickup through the wheel at all. Not at all. But yeah, see, that one was nice there. He was able to take out the Gogetsu, which is nice, but until he gets that extra push from the keepsake and 5P, yeah. He's to me an above average SSR plus and on the lower tier of a lot that's what's available right now. So with that, as always, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot. Have a great day.